A certain financial district is a place where the dumbest and brightest minds rejoice
and are united by one sacred truth: nobody knows what the heck is going on. And today, we are going to cover the 6 different types of investors you might find.
It's only right to start with the disciples of a certain well-known investor. Or, should I say, the value investors.
He's the type of guy that owns khakis in multiple shades of beige, drinks lukewarm coffee, and considers a certain classic investing book to be light erotica. You could say he's the life of the party. He won't shut up about moats, intrinsic value, and compound growth. And he'll spend 400 illustrative hours analyzing a company's public filings. But if you ask him his year-to-date return, he'll tell you, I actually invest for the long term. Translation, he may have been underperforming for quite some time.
And ladies, if you're looking for a man that won't try any positions besides the most conventional, this is the guy for you.
The value investor is the human equivalent of watching paint dry. His portfolio may consist of 3 meme stocks, a trading course, and pending legal troubles.
Every morning he starts with a cold plunge, a motivational podcast, and a period of time he likes to call meditation. But in reality, he's just getting hyped up. In his room, he has a hustle harder poster, 3 empty energy drink cans, and a suspicious white powder on his nightstand. He's the type of guy you hope you don't run into at a grocery store, because if you ask him about his investing strategy, he'll tell you, bro, the best investment is in yourself. He likes to call himself an entrepreneur, but his idea of diversified income streams may include sports betting, crypto, meme coins, and charging people to get into his party. It's safe to say he's not trying to beat the market, but he's just trying to beat his charges. This is the type of guy that looks at a stock chart the way conspiracy theorists look at grainy UFO footage. He's got 12 monitors, sees bull flags in his morning coffee, and speaks in a language only understood by the degenerate few. Every candlestick tells a story. He doesn't care what a company does. Heck, he doesn't even know, because fundamentals are for boomers. He doesn't do due diligence, he draws art. And he doesn't admire famous investors, he admires famous artists.
But you better not insult his charts, because you know what they say. Never interrupt an artist at work.
This is the guy who turned 400 illustrative dollars into 13,000 and then back into 0. He calls himself early, but he's really just unemployed with an unhealthy addiction to social media.
He lost his entire net worth in a rug pull for a meme coin called, for illustrative purposes, Fart Coin, but he likes to call it a learning experience.
It was a learning experience.
Now he owns 12 digital collectibles of pixelated animals, is in a van because he insists on being off-grid, and swears that fiat currency is a scam.
He hasn't filed taxes since 2021, but that doesn't matter, because, to him, the blockchain is borderless. And he likes to spend 8 hours a day in online forums, arguing about the future of finance with 14-year-olds. But the truth is, he has no idea what the blockchain, Web3, or any of that stuff actually is. He just likes to use fancy words that no one understands.
He loves options, worships a guy with a cat-like username, and lives by a single investing philosophy.
He drinks energy drinks, eats microwavable snacks, and hasn't seen daylight since a certain video game stock peaked in 2021.
He likes to call famous investors cowards, believes a 40% pullback is just consolidation, and refers to trading losses as battle scars.
And his retirement account? Well, he's actually never heard of it.
His long-term plan to build, quote, generational wealth includes getting all in on weekly market calls and then blaming market manipulation for when they expire worthless. He doesn't do technical analysis, he's never read an earnings report, he just feels things, and to him, that's more than enough.
He doesn't blink, he lives in Excel, and he calls every asset class a bubble.
even non-tradable ones. Because now he paces around his apartment all day in socks, mumbling about complex financial instruments and the fall of Western finance.
Ever since watching a certain movie about the 2008 crash, he hasn't known peace. It wasn't just a movie to him, it was a spiritual awakening.
He's been wrong 137 illustrative times in a row, but his answer to that is always, one day the market will crash. One day the central bank will be exposed. One day you'll all see. He's short the market, short the economy, and short of hope. He doesn't just want money. He wants to watch the world burn so he can stand in the ashes and whisper, "I told you so."
And until that day comes, he'll be at home surrounded by water jugs, canned bees, and old earnings reports from 2012.
So what have we learned today? Absolutely nothing.
Whether you're reading a famous investor's annual letters like a scripture, or betting your rent money on a candlestick pattern called the inverted frog, it all boils down to one universal truth. Nobody knows what the heck is going on. If you learned something new today, subscribe for more simple finance stories. Educational purposes only, not financial advice.